All right, let's talk about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, who, of course, was the number 2 overall pick with the Jets. Things did not work out very well. He kind of flamed out pretty quickly there, but the Broncos said, hey, let's take a flyer on him, right? We're a quarterback needy team. They did draft a guy as well, but you never know with the draft. So, keeping him on into organization, seeing what he can do, I figured let's make a film study and talk about how well did he play in this preseason. First things first, though, I do just want to mention I do have a movie channel. If you like watching movies, check out my movie channel. It is Jackson Kruger Movies. The link is in the description below for that. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. But yeah, let's talk Zach Wilson. Starting off with the play you see on the screen, it's a pretty smart play, and this is something we saw a lot. I'm not sure if this was because of the reason that I'm guessing, but there was a lot of bootlegs, and part of me just wonders if Zach Wilson loves running towards the sideline anyway. They're just well, let's incorporate that into the play then. I don't know. Maybe it's just coincidence, but either way, that's the way the play is designed to work, and those routes going towards the top of the screen are ones he's going to look towards. So, when Zach Wilson runs this play action, he does move up in that direction, and as of right now, he doesn't love some of those throws he sees. What's interesting, though, is, so you look at number 84, this doesn't seem like a throw he should make, right? I mean, you have a linebacker who's kind of in between that area and also playing Zach Wilson, but I think the way Wilson reads this is the linebacker's playing Wilson, so throw it to 84, and watch him be able to actually pull this off. Again, part of why Zach Wilson makes some of the most bafflingly dumb interceptions you'll see is because he can make some really good throws, and because a lot of times these decisions aren't actually dumb, he can get away with it. In college, you got away with it. Then with the Jets, he didn't get away with it, and everyone said, oh, wow, this guy sucks. But there was a reason why he was making those throws. Granted, you also would see stuff like this in the preseason where it's going to be a cover one-man play. You see the route, it's a deep shot down the field. There's a single safety deep, but if you can, as long as the safety is not in the way, definitely this is a route that could get open, could work. Wilson is going to take the snap. The receiver gets some inside leverage, so Wilson decides to pull the trigger. And, again, you can kind of see why Wilson wants to make this throw, but it is just difficult when the defensive back is a little bit closer, more in. Throwing a line drive throw is always dangerous. Really, this was a turnover-worthy play right there. Very much could have been intercepted. And Zach Wilson got away with a couple of turnover-worthy plays, I thought, this preseason. This one's another one where it's going to be a play-action rollout towards the top of the screen. But look at that edge rusher right there. He's the guy who's unblocked, and he's going to read this play very well. Watch how when Wilson runs this play, I mean, at this point, through no fault of Wilson's own, he is in trouble, right? Football's a team sport. Sometimes just the way the play design works out, defensive player makes a good play, and now you're in trouble. So the fact that he's in trouble is not his fault. But how you react to being in trouble can be. Watch him really just, while getting hit, just throw up a jump ball that, again, really, I think that the defensive player for Arizona had a better chance of making that catch than the Denver player did. Either way, it's a bad decision. If it was caught, it would be getting you 0 yards right there. You're at the line of scrimmage when the ball is being thrown. If you want to get rid of it, but don't just throw one up there and hope for the best. It's just a bad decision. And speaking of bad decisions, there was also stuff like this, where I'm just pausing it to break down the play. You see where they are on the field. 2nd and 14. You want to gain some yards here. 3rd and 14 is tough, but if you can gain at least 5 yards, you have a chance. When this play begins, we're going to see, a situation that has kind of plagued Wilson's career for too much of it, where there isn't a lot open down the field. That was something that he had to deal with a lot with the Jets. And to make matters worse, there is a Green Bay player running in ready to make a tackle on Zach Wilson. So, again, you have to know where you are on the field, right? You're standing in your own end zone. You have to be ready to get rid of the football, get to a check down. There is a check down available right here. That's what he needs to be doing. Wilson instead tries to juke out that defender, and it just doesn't work. And this is something we've seen too much of him, is he, again, in college, he was able to get around these defensive linemen. Here at the NFL level, it's not working out, and he needs to know he can't do that, really. Well, I guess I shouldn't say he can't do that. I think he takes too many chances. There are times when it works out. This play, for example, is going to be one of those times where it's it's going to be an edge rush. And I think this is where he's much better at. Pressure up the middle, I think he struggles. Pressure on the edge, he can actually do some nice things. watch how when this play begins, you see how the edge rusher is going in position where Wilson can see him, but definitely this is a dangerous situation. I mean, the edge rusher is barely getting blocked on this play. However, watch Wilson move up in the pocket, gets around him, and is able to run forward and pick up a nice gain of like 6 yards right there. That's good stuff from Zach Wilson. And to be honest, despite the fact that I've given a lot of negatives in this video, I think there was a lot of good stuff by Zach Wilson in this. I think that he was pretty consistently playing well, and especially that last game against the Arizona Cardinals. I think his PFF grade was like 90 in this last game because he actually did do a lot of good stuff. The issues were still there, but like this play is a perfect example of what he was able to do, but also I think in many ways part of why maybe we saw him play well. So it's zone coverage, and you see the route concept on the screen. It's going to start off looking towards his left, then maybe go more over the middle. Watch how that's how he reads it. First looks towards his left, is now looking over the middle. Unfortunately, none of this is what he loves to see in this situation. However, there is a lot of time for him to block, which kind of reminds me of his BYU days. That was a big criticism people would say was, oh, well, sure, he's doing well, but a big part of why he's doing well is because he has so much time to throw. Well, here in the preseason, he has a lot of time to throw again. Because of that, he is eventually able to locate an open receiver, and they pick up a big gain right there. So again, I do wonder if you put Zach Wilson in a better situation, could you have some stuff like this? I don't know. But like, he did do very good in this situation, and that is absolutely worth talking about. Now, it also is probably worth mentioning that for Zach Wilson, he's typically played well in the preseason. Like, he's usually a good preseason player. I remember, like, his first preseason, when we finally got to see him play with the Jets in an NFL uniform, pretty much the consensus was, like, Lawrence didn't play very well. Zach Wilson was, playing really well, and everyone was like, wow, Jaguars screwed it up. Look at the Jets. They got a superstar. For me, one of the few people who thought that Zach Wilson was the best quarterback in that draft class, a take that's weirdly aged okay due to how poorly some of the other quarterbacks have done, but still not a great take. But I was like, oh man, I nailed it. I'm a genius. Look at this. And then he proceeded to play horrible in the regular season. I'm not saying that's exactly going to happen here, but to be honest, as someone who, listen, it would be great for me if Zach Wilson ended up being a great player someday and make my worst take since I've been doing this YouTube channel age better. I haven't really seen much to make me feel as though that could be the case. There still are things he does well. There always have been things he does well. He's always been able to get certain highlights and things like that. Again, he even had highlights last year with the Jets. He did. It's just a consistency thing, and he still had some of those, in my opinion, kind of brain dead decisions, like the safety, couple of just bad plays by him. It doesn't negate the good plays, and if this is who he is, if like he plays like this in the regular season, then cool. Like, you'll gladly take the downsides for being able to be a consistently like good game manager type. But again, I think more of that was due to the kind of easier situation, is what I see. So, yeah, how do I grade the performance from Zach Wilson? It was a good preseason performance. Like, it was like a 7 or 8 out of 10, I would say, for his whole preseason. But, like, again, I've seen this before, which is why I'm maybe not as optimistic as maybe if you're a Denver fan who hasn't seen this before. You might be thinking, wow, did we fix him? I wouldn't jump to that conclusion just yet, is all I'm saying. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.